Everybody else looks at you and knows this isn't the truth, and that you're fooling yourself and you're wasting your time and you're missing out on so much, etc. Or you can witness to what is true about you and stop pretending you're spineless. Right. And yes, go for it. What does that mean? It means reach for the brass ring and get it. It means making commitment to action. It means getting off the fence. Mm-hmm. It means taking hold of the movement on purpose and not letting go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got it. And enjoy the ride. Because what are you grabbing hold of? What is the movement that you're grabbing hold of? Well, when you grab hold of it, you're going to find out that's, wow, it's me. Not little ego me, but it's what I really am. Right. It's the presence and movement of God, and that's what I am. And I don't have to be afraid of it. And I don't have to pretend I can't. And I'm whole. Wow. You see? And then persist, 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 persist. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. And when your ego speaks up, witness for that in you which is divine. Mm-hmm. And don't witness for the ego. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Now we will take a break. Hands. And the lady right here on the end? You? Yes.
I'm both excited and scared to ask you a question, and I've never asked you one publicly before.
Well, I've never answered one of your questions publicly before, and I'm quaking in my boots.
Last night I wrote down many questions and started over again, but I know that it's the answer that's important and not my question. So my question sort of covers a couple areas, and please feel free to pick whichever area you feel is most important for me to have an answer from. It doesn't have to be all of them. And then I also would like to ask you a question about my father who died last year. Okay. I'd like to acknowledge and thank you, or just acknowledge a recent influx of love in my life. And with that, of course, a lot of growth. However, there's a couple spots in my life that I feel a stuckedness, or I'm looking for a way to help grow past some things. And those areas are within my career work situation. I have a lot of energy going in different places, and I enjoy all the energy going in different places, but I'm not quite sure always which avenue to proceed further with. In my current relationship, there's quite a...
I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to encourage you not to try to narrow it down. Keep all of the avenues. You might think they keep you a little bit off balance, but what they do is they keep you attentive.
Thank you.
They also keep you from managing to put blinders on and having the broader view and learning to keep your balance amongst different activities keeps you alive to life. There are not so many avenues that they are overwhelming. I'm encouraging you not to try to narrow it down.
Thank you, because that is truly what feels best for me, and I feel sort of like I'd just get up and surfboard to where the wave is at the moment. So thank
Indeed.
you.
Since that's what felt right to you, what prompted you to ask the question?
Because I've been doing this for years, and feeling like I'm not making the, quote, progress that I would like to make. Instead of,
Where is the wave supposed to take you?
I guess that's my question. I'm not sure.
Surfers don't ride the wave to get somewhere. They ride the wave for the fun of finding the balance point over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. The joy is in the movement and finding the balance point. It's not about getting somewhere.
Then I am doing that well.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you. That helps tremendously.
Being is not about getting somewhere. It's not about a destination. Being, and I'm capitalizing the word being, is ising. Take the word is and add an ing to it. It's ising. It's infinite movement that is forever making itself new because it's the movement of God, and it's without a goal. And because it's without a goal, it is capable of being, or it's incapable of being anything other than an experience of pure joy. When you wake up and arrive at home with a capital H, you're going to find yourself ising. You'll find it wasn't a destination at all, but that it was, for lack of better words, arriving at a point where you allow yourself to fully be in the movement of being forever. And because there isn't a goal that you are superimposing upon ising, distracting you from being fully present in the now, then the experience of being is an experience of now wholeness that is, you might say, like an infinite ball of snakes, slithering and moving, constantly active, except that instead of it being thousands of individual snakes doing their own thing, it's all God being one thing infinitely, and it's all then your conscious experience of being. It's unlimited activity that occurs in utter peace and without the expenditure of energy, and therefore you cannot become exhausted from it. And instead of imagining it as an infinite ball of snakes, you could imagine it as an infinite presence of voices singing, that would convey something more of beauty and joy. And you will catch the wave of the tone here and there, and being will be pure joy. You'll never come to an end or a point of rest, a destination. And you won't hide from any part of your infinity or your experience of infinity. You won't ever hesitate to, or that's not the best way to put it, you will willingly witness to and for every aspect of the movement of being, to the movement of being. And for lack of better words, you will be busy. Not rocking in a chair on a porch or on the edge of a cloud, playing a harp. I know you understand what I'm saying. Continue.
Okay, thank you. That brings great clarity. Another area in my life where I feel some stuckedness is in my current...
Another area of your life where you are?
Feel some stuckedness.
But we just...
That area I don't feel stuckedness anymore. The first area, thank you. I feel very clear and it rings like a tone.
So
as
now
you
maybe
mentioned.
we're talking about another area where you're misperceiving it as stuckedness.
Absolutely.
Okay.
In my current relationship with my significant other, I have a lot of ambivalence in that relationship. It's a relationship that brings me great energy, full of life, and is someone who can witness to who I truly am at the worst of my moments. And it is one of the more chaotic relationships I've had in my life. And
Chaotic, in what sense?
chaotic. Not as peaceful. Not as constant peace as I have been more used to.
And what kind of disturbance do you encounter?
Probably a disturbance of the nature you were first speaking about. There are...
Mean, hateful, abusive?
Not abusive, no. Lack of, my words, okay, I'm not saying what it truly is, but my feeling perception. Lack of awareness, lack of thoughtfulness, kindness, too narcissistic. Those are my judging words, okay? Which many times I feel like, okay, that's it, that's enough for me, I'm out of here. And then can be the very same day I am feeling, hey, things are in harmony, because they can turn that quick. So I'm feeling quite ambivalent.
But not ambivalent enough. Your ambivalence is ambivalent.
Exactly, yes, that's why I'm so, like what's going on with me that my ambivalence can be so ambivalent. If I was in a place I really didn't like, I would leave. But I also am in a place where I can't move forward and commit because I'm so ambivalent about my ambivalence.
So what's the problem?
No problem again? I have more peace about my ambivalence. I truly do. Is it okay to be ambivalent?
If you're not miserable enough to leave, then stay.
Sounds good to me. It does. I guess I feel
And then that is what you're doing.
that is what I'm doing.
There's integrity there.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to check out. Thank you. All right.
And you obviously have opportunities to witness to what is true about your significant other.
Yes, and those opportunities many times bear out that what positive witnessing occurs.
Your problem in this area stems from thinking.
Okay. Less thinking? Okay. Thank you.
Fortunately, you don't tend to act on what you think. You just distress yourself with your thinking. You do what you want.
Pardon?
You do what you want, and you don't do what you want to do. You don't do what you don't want to do. There's integrity there.
Okay. Yes, that's right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Good. 2 problems. Hey. Okay. Another one, and then that's the. Oh, thank you. Another one. That's the last area, and then I do want to ask you a question about my father. Is there anything I should be doing differently that would allow money to be even less of an issue for me? It's becoming less and less and less of an issue, but is there anything I should be doing differently in order for it to become less of an issue? Or put it in the positive, for it to become more, to increase my abundance.
Again, increasing your abundance will not cause money to be less of an issue.
Okay.
The only thing that will allow money to become less of an issue is for you to allow it to become less of an issue.
So if I, more awareness and consciously allowing it.
You've got to become less afraid of having or not having it.
Okay. My fear is getting in the way.
Well, it's getting in the way of your peace.
Okay.
It's not getting in the way of your money.
Okay.
Each of your questions suggests that something should be different in each of the areas, and you've got to watch the subtle suggestion that presents itself to you that things are not all right as they are, because that distracts you from being present with the way things are, which basically aren't bothering you. And basically, they are all stable and all right. You know what a straw dog is?
No.
A straw dog is a problem that's not a real problem. So your ego is enticing you to deal with straw dogs. Be alert so that these suggestions don't undermine your joy at the way things are, because you are basically happy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
May I ask my question about my father?
Yes.
Okay. My father, I have more than one father. So do you know the father I'm speaking of that?
I do.
Okay. He died last year, and I truly know that he is fine and happy and joyous and doing well, because that is who he is. I would love to have some confirmation of that, and I also would like the end part of his life when he was ill. Towards the very end, I lost the ability to communicate with him and know if he was in pain or not. And I still have a fear, and I know my family has a fear, that he suffered at the end. I didn't think he was suffering terribly. I think he had enough pain medication, all that, but then I became unsure. And
There was pain, but not overwhelming, and not a very long duration.
was that something that we missed? I mean, is that something that, well, I guess
It
it's
certainly
not
was not from
intentional.
neglect of any form or sort. You need feel no false responsibility there. As I said, it was not significant. Let us say on the order of a mild gas problem. If you have gas that won't move out of the digestive tract, it's uncomfortable, but certainly tolerable. The medication kept it at a very tolerable level. You may relax.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
And he is now. That's him.
Hail, whole, and hearty.
Pardon?
Hail, whole, and hearty.
That's him.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, hands. The gentleman in the back.
Good afternoon, Raj.
Good afternoon.
I am confused. I want to be fully functional in being able to be witness or bear witness to my brothers and sisters. So my questions are going to be more of discussing with you examples. For instance, your first example was about the person who comes into work looking like they've had a terrible night's sleep, bags under their eyes, etc. And people are saying, oh, you look terrible, da, 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 da. And the person turns to you and says, how do you think I look? Are you to look at that person when you've seen them look much better, or at least in, without the circles and the redness in the eyes and whatnot, and say, oh, you look just marvelous. Don't pay attention to what those people are saying. Or are give me some specifics on how to handle a situation like that. I understand the feeling is to look at that person with love in your heart and say, this is God being expressed. This is me. This is my brother. We are one. But how do you keep integrity when confronted with a question like, how do I look?
Since we are talking about the individual himself or herself, you would be honest and say, you don't look your normal self. You look like you need to give attention to yourself. Is there anything I can do to help you honor yourself by getting enough rest? Can I do anything for you? No, you don't tell them that they look beautiful when they don't look beautiful. But you respond, and your stance must be one of standing on their behalf with anything you can do to help. You don't encourage them to be unwise if they're exhausted and do more work. You encourage them to get rest. You encourage them to take the practical steps that will help bring them back to their experience of health. And at the same time that you're doing that, you do acknowledge the complete truth about them, knowing that this healing does not need to take time because they don't have a physical body that must abide by laws of matter or physics in order to change. And you recognize that their healing can be absolutely instantaneous, even if you can't put that into words to them. So you acknowledge the truth about them within yourself, and you be practical with them in your relating to them.
So a neck and shoulder rub might be in order, something like that.
That might well be in order, yes.
Okay, another example is the person who chronically complains. In other words, they come to you and they say, you know, I have such problems, and it's, you know, Joe has been doing this to me, and Jane has been doing this, and you know, it's just like everyone picks on me, and you wouldn't believe what my boss said to me the other day, and that's another, I mean, it's like sometimes you want to look at that person and go, wait a minute, you know, take responsibility for yourself. You know, recognize that it's your perspective that's causing your problem, not the world. But yet, oftentimes, when a person's in that frame of mind, and I think everybody can identify with having been in that frame of mind at one time, people sometimes aren't ready to receive the direct impact of truth or you know, the reality of the situation. So how does one handle a situation like that? And I realize that these are hypothetical, but they're also common experiences.
You must be willing to pay attention on the spot for what is appropriate. You must be willing to listen for what needs to be said. Sometimes it will be necessary to say you need to take responsibility and not blame everyone else, because that does stand in consonance with their integrity. That is witnessing what is the truth about them. It witnesses for their integrity and elicits it, whether they resist it or not. You don't join in with them witnessing for their point of view that is a confused point of view and an irresponsible point of view. It's also a specific time in which you can bring out the very idea of witnessing and point out that they are witnessing for the worst in these people in their lives. And that witnessing for the worst is at the least malicious gossip and not a productive employment of their mind, and certainly not a constructive dialogue for you to be engaging in.